So they're trying to limit the speed of truck drivers to ensure the safety of the public. That's extremely counterintuitive, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, if you get value out of this video, or if you agree with this video, then please share it out, because we need to get the word out here. A speed reduction is not the answer. If you disagree with what I'm saying here, please feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know why. But they're trying to introduce a speed limitation for 65 miles per hour to all commercial motor vehicles. And, you know, in theory, it sounds good. You know, if we slow down commercial motor vehicles, then, you know, it sounds like maybe that would decrease the amount of accidents that are involved. Well, I'm gonna tell you why this is counterintuitive. As a truck driver, I've been a truck driver for about 9.5 years, and back whenever I first started, I worked for a company that the speed limit was, or the speed governor on our trucks were 62 miles per hour, okay? 62 miles per hour, and also during this time period, there were a lot of other trucking companies that they were the same or maybe even 65 miles per hour. But the majority of the company trucks that were on the road were not doing more than 65 miles per hour. Now, what this does is this causes a discrepancy between the public, the motoring public, as well as the commercial motor vehicles. And this discrepancy between, you know, the two types of vehicles out on the road, it causes a lot more traffic. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not trying to point all of this out because I want there to be less traffic on the road so that way I can get my job done. Sure, that's a nice benefit, but that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is the increase in traffic causes more accidents. It's just a fact. Now, another thing or another result of this limiting trucks, unfortunately, we get paid by the mile, okay? If our wheels aren't turning, then we're not earning, okay? So the only time the truck driver gets paid is whenever we're going down the road. And a lot of times when we're on a mile or a load that's going across the country, well, we need to get there, you know, as soon as we possibly can. Now, I would 100% argue that the trucks that are not limited are probably the ones that are doing the majority of following the speed limit. And the reason is because they know that the time lost, I guess, in the slower speed zones will be made up whenever they get to the portion of the speed limit that's 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour. And a lot of times, you know, these are in areas that are a lot lower in traffic. You know, the speed limits are already in place during high speed, you know, during high traffic areas. I mean, there's very few speed limits out there in major cities or highly populated areas that are above 65 miles per hour. A lot of times they are 60 or even 55. So the problem here, or the solution to this problem, has nothing to do with limiting the trucks. The trucks, I was reading an article, and it says that the trucks were responsible for 1,000 fatalities in a single year. Well, how many fatalities were on the road that year? How many of those were caused by regular drivers? You see, the thing is, that number is very inflated. They want you to think that speeding commercial motor vehicles are the problem. But that number is the amount of trucks that were involved. That's not to say that they were at fault. And there's this stigma surrounding accidents that are involved with trucks, or that trucks are involved in. And you have these lawyers that are headhunters that seek out these accidents, and no matter if the truck driver's at fault, I'm not saying that, the truck driver's never at fault. Don't twist my words. But in the accidents where it's truly not the truck driver, they're getting sued. Their companies are getting sued. So at best case scenario, these truck drivers are losing their jobs and losing the ability to pay their bills, to feed their family. We make pretty good money as truck drivers, as a whole across the industry, despite what a few little agitated people say. We make pretty good money out here. And for a lot of us, we don't have a skill set that we can fall back on, or that we can move industries to go to make the same kind of money. So it's almost a death sentence to us. So I propose, rather than putting a Band-Aid on a problem it's certainly a problem, but rather than putting a Band-Aid on it, how about we actually fix the problem? How about we, instead of trying to defund the police, how about we create more jobs? How about we do a better job of supervising the highways for speeders? How many of you out there have gotten a ticket for cutting off a big truck? I've never heard of anybody getting caught for that or getting a ticket for that. It happens to me on a daily basis. How many times have you gotten a ticket for tailgating? Whether it's a car or a big truck or whatever. I've heard a couple people getting tailgating tickets, but I see it every single day. It happens so much. Things like that are a much bigger cause of accidents, and especially fatality accidents, than speeding commercial motor vehicles. Now, should speeding commercial motor vehicles get a pass? Absolutely not. They should be held to the same standards that everybody else is. It's law. I'm not trying to call out, police officers here, because I know that they have so much going on, and quite frankly, they don't have the funding that they need in order to be able to have enough officers to be able to manage these incredibly populated areas. Look around and see how many people are on their phones going down the road, truck drivers included. How many people are running red lights, California roll? That's sad. We have a nickname for running a stop sign. The problem is not limiting trucks. What's the difference between taking a truck that can do 70 miles an hour and reducing it down to 65? 5 miles per hour on an 80,000 pound missile going down the road? Yeah, that's gonna do a lot. Now I get it, during those 60 mile per hour zones, they won't be able to do 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. I get that. But the trucks that are not governed, those are not the ones that are speeding. The ones that are speeding are the ones that are limited when the speed limit is actually 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour. But they're only able to go 60, 65. I know, I was that guy. I hate to admit that. I was early in my career. My truck was governed at 62 miles per hour. And a lot of times that's what I kept it at. I'm willing to put that out there. Limiting the trucks is not the answer. The answer here is a clearly a fantastic way to create more jobs. Why would you not want to create more jobs? actually policing the flow of traffic or the speeds or the tailgating or the cutting off of trucks or other cars. I mean, it doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to call out the police department. Please don't misunderstand me here. I'm just trying to say that there is a much, much better way to solve this issue. And the answer is not reducing the speed. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. I am going to be talking about some more legislation that they're trying to pass in a future video. So if you're curious, hang around. But as always, stay driven.